We still want him to carry an edge, but, you know, he's got to make sure he doesn't cross the line.
Whatever it takes to win the game, it's just playing ball.
You know, it sucks for me because I'm not able to make plays to help our team win.
Paul George coming alive in the second half. A thriller in Indianapolis. James, bounce pass ahead to Wade. For the fourth consecutive year, the Miami Heat are heading to the NBA Finals.
And the Heat in the Big Three looking to end the Pacers season for the third straight year. Indy looking to win in Miami for the first time in over a year in order to keep their season alive. LeBron James held to just 7 points in Game 5, and he wasn't going to let that happen again. In fact, he came out like he was trying to prove a point.
Yes, absolutely. In Game 5, the Heat, because LeBron was in foul trouble, only had 22 points in the paint. He came out in attack mode tonight.
He'll attack Lance Stevenson, a little taste of his own medicine. Later, off the inbound, some space underneath, and, well, LeBron takes advantage of that space, drives, and draws the foul.
Great body control. David West is 6'8", 260 pounds, but LeBron's a freight train when he's coming at you.
Now, Lance Stevenson was a major storyline Game 5 with his antics, and despite Larry Bird telling him to cut it out, he kept it up in Game 6 here, knocks down the three despite LeBron pretty much putting his hand on his face, and then later the two getting into it, and you'll see why here. Stevenson comes and hits LeBron in the face, probably for retaliation for that three.
As Mark Jackson would say, that's the bad Lance. That was uncalled for.
Well, LeBron, he would have the last laugh, drills the jumper over Paul George. In Game 5, just 7 points. In the first quarter of Game 6, 11 points for the King. In the second quarter, more physical play from Stevenson. Here, it looks like Lance Stevenson is going for the ball, but at a closer look, what do you see?
This is a wind-up and a hit to the face above the neck. I thought this could have been a flagrant 2, Cassidy.
Well, it was called a flagrant 1, so he would stay in the game, and the Heat would retaliate, and it would be Shane Battier.
Oh, Shane Battier, he knows how to get even, and that's what great. Shane Battier was voted the best teammate, and this is the reason why. He takes care of his superstar teammates.
You didn't like this play at all.
That was a terrible shot by George Hill, but an even better pass by not Magic Johnson, but LeBron James, who plays more like Magic than Jordan.
And then the Heat using the pick and roll effectively against Roy Hibbert.
They put Roy Hibbert in a bind this whole series with his pick and roll defense. Just didn't have the quickness and the agility to defend the pick and rolls, and Bosh made him pay.
And the Heat, they scored 36 points in the second quarter, while the Pacers only had 34 points in the whole first half, where the big three of LeBron James, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh outscored the Pacers themselves 37-36. And the Heat's 26-point lead at the half, well, that's the largest halftime lead in postseason franchise history. And they didn't let up in the second half. Pacers facing a huge 26-point deficit. Paul George coming off a big Game 5, struggled early, knocked down the three in the corner. His first made field goal, but he would finish with 29 points. And here, oh my gosh, LeBron.
This is a replay from the last game, but that's why LeBron James is King James. He's not the Prince, he's King James. He was angry, he was upset, he was focused.
And he was efficient.
Yes.
25 points, 8 of 12 from the field. Fourth quarter, out of the game, but still coaching on the sideline. You like that Euro step?
Euro flash, all the way from Chicago.
And then Wade with a bounce pass to Bosh for the lay-in and the foul. And this game was always the Heat's. Bosh, he finished with 25 points. LeBron loving it. The Heat, they win 117-92. LeBron and Lance Stevenson hugging after.
Yeah, that was good. That was
no love lost.
Some professionalism on Stevenson.
And look, Greg Oden hoists the trophy. As Miami, they eliminate the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight season. And the Heat, they become the third franchise in NBA history to reach 4 consecutive NBA Finals. And they also improved to 10-0 at home in potential series-clinching games in the Big Three era. Although he's been here before, the King not taking the moment for granted.
We don't take this moment for granted. We're going to celebrate tonight because it doesn't happen every year. I mean, we've been fortunate enough to be a part of this 4 straight times.
It hasn't really hit us yet. I would rather, it hit me in 2 weeks. So, you know, we have a lot more work to do. This is fine and all, but this is not what we want. It's only another stepping stone.
We've sacrificed as individuals to be in this moment, in this position. So we understand, you know, where we at right now. But, I mean, it's still crazy, too.
We wanted to play a very good game, and we didn't want to really let our foot off the gas in any type of capacity. And I say that with all due respect. They're a very good team, but we know what we've been through. We know what was at stake for us.
It didn't matter what seed we were. I felt like we can, you know, represent the Eastern Conference again in the finals if, you know, if we had the health.
It's bitterly disappointing to fall short of our goals. And it's bitterly disappointing to lose to this team 3 years in a row. But we're competing against the Michael Jordan of our era, the Chicago Bulls of our era. And you have to tip your hats to them for the way they played this whole series.
Strong statement by Frank Vogel. Well,
I agree with Frank Vogel.
the Chicago Bulls of our era, they're headed to their 4th straight finals and are the first team since the Celtics from the 1985 to 87 to accomplish that feat. And the Big Three have made the run through the Eastern Conference look pretty easy the last 4 seasons, winning by an average margin of at least 7 points the last 3 seasons. And Coach, this game got out of hand in a hurry. What did the Heat do to allow themselves to just dominate this game?
The Heat basically pressured the Indiana Pacers when they got off the bus and came into the arena. They did a great job of extending their defense, which eventually got into the shot clock. Here, Chalmers is pressuring Hill. He's there. He's taking time off the clock. And because of this, they're not getting into their offense with 21 seconds to go on the shot clock, but 16 or 17 seconds. And then the Heat's just swarming. They're rotating. Paul George would have taken that shot in Indiana. He didn't take it because the Heat was scrambling. Here, again, look, everybody's up. Rashard Lewis is up. Chalmers is up. Now again, Indiana's getting into their offense too late. They need more time to run their offense. You look at the pressure here, the deny by Rashard Lewis, pressure on the ball. Look at the closeout and the contest, the scramble, gang rebounding. The Heat did a great job of extending their defense, pressure defense, swarming defense, rotating. They looked like they had 6 or 7 defenders on the court instead of 5.
And now they rest and wait for who their opponent is going to be in the finals. What did you learn about the Heat in this series?
I learned that Dwayne Wade is the most important player outside of LeBron James on their team. And they did a great job, the Heat, in terms of resting Dwayne Wade for 28 games. Look at him. He said, hey, I'm just resting because I know the real deal for us is we want to get back to the finals. The regular season isn't our goal. So you saw a Dwayne Wade that was explosive. He had great stamina, he had terrific lift on his shots. He averaged 19.5 points or so in this series.
He was even shooting threes.
He was shooting threes because of his leg strength. His legs were there. He was confident because Eric Spoelstra Popovich Dwayne Wade during the regular season.
Yes, I like that, Popovich. I get it, I get it.
You got it.
Now, we don't know who the Heat are going to face in the finals, but we do know that the Heat are going to start on the road. Now, I spoke with Antonio Davis earlier this week, and he said that he thinks that the Heat would rather face the Spurs. Who do you think that the Heat would rather face in the finals?
Well, I love Antonio,
okay,
but I think they would rather face the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Why?
Because the Oklahoma City Thunder basically they're a 2-man band. You know, Westbrook and Durant, they're a little erratic with the basketball. They don't have the experience with their supporting cast, championship experience. And I think because they don't have an inside threat with Perkins and Ibaka, the Spurs, they're on the mission. They want the revenge factors there. The Spurs feel that they gave away the game last year in Game 6. I had a chance to visit the Spurs training camp and talk to Coach Pop. He showed them the Game 6 video.
I'm sure.
And it took about 4 hours.
It may be on a loop.
Right.
If they get into the final, it's going to be a loop.
And the Spurs can spread you out, better three-point shooting team, 3 Hall of Fame players, Kawhi Leonard, a deeper bench. I think they would prefer to play the Thunder.
Well, the Heat, they split both regular season series against the Thunder and Spurs during the regular season. Game 1 of the finals is on Thursday night.
Yes.
You can see that game on ABC.